final match of today. This is going to be the Grand Champ 2 match of Tyzen Argus versus Beta. And yeah, we're already starting to kick things off, and it should be a much faster paced one considering it's Grand Champ 2, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this one, and you know, surprise, surprise, I'm back for game number 3. I was scheduled for 2, but y'all seem to enjoy us, so we're back in the booth, me and Toasty, for match number 3.
Yep. It starts off pretty normally. You just got some back and forth passing across the field, some players going through as it feels like Beta, obviously, at the start here have been really great at clearing it out of their own half whenever it gets there. So, you know, small sample size, but perhaps an indicator of things to come is already some pressure towards Argus's goal.
Yeah, and both of these teams doing a great job getting or alleviating the pressure early on. Even like when they start building some pressure, they're getting these deep clears that we've been talking about all series long. As a misfire there, and Mank's gonna have to come up and make a desperation save as Plaque's now trying to come up and just get a shot on, met with the 50. And now both teams starting to struggle a little bit as Braddock gonna be able to just put this one away.
Yeah, Braddock managing to follow up on the open goal, so this is definitely a lot better than my bronze games, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I'm not sure why that goal was even open.
Yeah, you know, it felt like it was just a defensive what's it called? What's the word? Miscommunication. Sorry, I'm blanking on English for a little bit. I've only been studying it for 24 years, you know? But, you know, Walsh going to be able to find this redirect. A great shot. A great pass from Braddock, once again, setting up his teammates after scoring the first goal. A great pass and an even better finish by Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh managing to just get that shot in after the pass came through. Feels like Braddock is a player we should probably start keeping our eyes on just a little bit, and we're only a minute 20 in here as FE Stan going to hit it against the wall. Walsh beat to the ball there, and looks like Stan is going to have to try and get up and get this out of their own half, but I would expect Plaz to be there. Yeah, Plaz is there. If they hit away, keeps it in the enemy team's side, in Beta's side, and right now it's looking a little bit risky. Beta managed to clear it away from the goal as that did bounce off the crossbar.
Yeah, and Stan doing a great job there, just putting it off the crossbar and out, making sure that they had enough opportunity to be able to, you know, just recoup themselves. Not only did they put it off the crossbar, but they also put it to the right of the net, so there wasn't a follow-up opportunity, as Walsh just tried to get this one in and already met it in the air by Stan. And both of these teams are doing a great job just pre-jumping and pre-cutting a lot of these plays that are setting up in motion, and that's the main difference that you'll see from the earlier games to now, is how much more is, like, you're going to see just people pre-jumping plays and cutting it off very early compared to waiting for the ball coming to you and letting that play, you know, develop.
Yeah, preventing opportunities from actually being opportunities in the first place is a great play style to have, and it's exactly what we've been seeing so far here just a couple of times, as there's going to be hit away there from Braddock. Plaz will be up to actually almost pass it off to Braddock themselves, as don't quite manage to get there in time, and Stan now with the job of trying to clear it away from their own side. Does get intercepted though, so Walsh is up for it again. A lot of aerial challenges to be had here. Big juxtaposition to the previous games, I would say, as Stan taking it a bit slowly, letting Braddock do their thing on the goal line and get it away. This is a great demo coming through to prevent any sort of offensive prowess from starting here for Beta's side.
Yeah, and once again, I felt like we had seen this time and time again, you know. It felt like Beta came out prepared right away, as this one's off the post, off a second post as well. They came out ready right away, and then it felt like Argus was more in that feel them out process. But now that we've really gotten to the big chunk of our game, both teams have settled down and have been playing extraordinarily well, and we haven't seen any, you know, any goals since that first flurry at the beginning.
Yep, seems like teams are kind of warming up to their own playstyles and realizing exactly how they're going to be playing this. And for Beta, it does seem like they are, you know, able to at least get it into Argus's side a fair bit. So Braddock going to be here, dribbling it up the pitch, intercepted there, and Plaz will be in the corner doing something about it. Great bump there from Stan onto Manx though, and potentially sets up their teammates, but there's no follow-up there. Walsh a little bit late to the party. Braddock goes for the shot, but misses it to Plaz with the challenge again. And Argus managed to fend that off, but can they get an offense of their own going?
Yeah, they need to get a goal, and they need it quickly. Down 2-0 with the final 40 seconds. It's this one. A great 50 by Plaz is going to just squeak into the corner. A great follow-up after the dump and chase. And Brad just getting 50'd into their own net. And this is the opening that Argus needed.
With 37 seconds on the clock, it's going to be a little bit difficult, I think, to get another goal back shortly. But Argus, they managed to do something, and they're going to clear it up the pitch almost, if that was just a little bit to the right, to the open goal. But Plaz is going to be here to try and set up their teammates. There's a couple of the players on beta there have to commit to it. They'll go back, get boost, and be ready to rotate into position for another touch. There's Plaz intercepting it before it can get anywhere near their own goal. But with 10 seconds now, something has to be done. It's in Argus's side of the pitch, so trying to clear that out should be the first priority for Stan. It's just stalling them out here, touching the ball in and out and making sure that there's no opportunities here for anything to happen there for Argus. And Beta take the first game in the set.
Yeah, and Beta did a phenomenal job after allowing that first goal to play absolutely aggressive and keep Argus on their heels. They did not allow Argus any opportunities to set up any plays, any passing plays, or any, really outstanding opportunities. Beta just absolutely swarmed and was able to just suffocate Argus until the last 37 ticks were able to hit zeros.
Yep, absolutely. So very unfortunately there for Argus, they don't manage to make the comeback happen, but with it being 1-2, pretty close scoreline for our first game in the set, and overall, I think it comes down to, a lot of those interceptions we were talking about, right? Preventing a play from happening before it starts. A lot of the time a clear would come through, and if that was a Champ 2 lobby, that clear would go through, but in this situation, these Grand Champ 2 players, a whole rank above, are able to just intercept that way quicker because they're just better at these rotations, probably better at the synergy and comms as well. So a lot more high-tier gameplay to be had here, and it's already showing.
Yeah, and it's not just that it's better, it's also cleaner and faster. That's the way, one of the main things that we've been seeing is how quickly are people getting up into the air for these blocks and how quickly they're getting back into position if they are caught out of position. The flaws are, not really there. They're all playing extraordinarily well, and they're playing extraordinarily fast.
Yep, and that's what you expect of players of this caliber. Obviously, not the top level, as that would be RLCS, but either way, they are playing extremely well. Way better than I ever could anyway. I'm just a Diamond 2 player, so we'll have a kickoff going off, and right now it just seems like, again, like the start of last game where they're feeling each other out, seeing what's going to happen. Is Plaz and Walsh going to clash up in the air? Nothing manages to come off of that, really, other than Braddock getting in position for the clear over towards the side of Argus. Great pass off, but not going to get followed up onto there. Too many defenders in play for this Tyzen squad, and it's just going again a bit back and forth. Now it's over to Beta side of the pitch. Well,
yeah, and Beta's been doing a phenomenal job following up after how they ended last game. They've just completely picked up the pace from where they left off, and it felt like there hasn't been that change of momentum yet, as 2 goal line stands is not going to be enough, and third time's the charm, as everyone is going to get a shot on net here. First block by Braddock, then second stop by Stan, and then finally able to Walsh to put that one away.
Yep. In and out there as finally goes in the way of a Beta. Argus going to take a very nice kickoff here, though, potentially getting a shot, but not quite hitting it into the goal, as Plaz in the corner sends it off towards their teammates, and they're not doing much with it, I can't lie to you. And now it's going to go towards the center, but Manx is not there in time to do much off of it. Now they're going to get it up into the air. Plaz is potentially there, but not able to bump anyone out of position on that save. Oh, very close there, though. A little bit to the left, and that would have gone in. So, Beta marginally staying alive here in this round.
Yeah. One thing to really note is when Beta is on this defensive side, they're not allowing these boost steals to go through. They're stealing the boost even when they have 70, 80 boost just to, drain Argus, because they know when they're down low, there isn't a lot of boost to be spared. So they want to take that 20, 30 extra boost and not let Argus set anything up down low and force them on those retreats that we saw. And, Argus wasn't able to get anything set up off of them, as a decent shot's going to come in to try setting something up, But Walsh, a great track with a flip reset off the ceiling. Not going to be able to do anything there, but just a lot of pressure alleviated from this beta defense to offense push.
Yep. And now it's going to be a couple passing plays here. Walsh obviously having possession of the ball, manages to get it past Plaz, and Manx is going to be up next to the chopping block. Doesn't manage to win that challenge, but fortunately, a teammate is there to make sure it's cleared off. But very close shot there, and actually goes in off of the back of Walsh. What a passing play off the crossbar into Walsh and into the goal.
Yeah, just a phenomenal first shot. And then the follow-up by Walsh with the backflip, going to be able to get that one. You know, that was... It looked purposeful. It looked like they just jumped into there and just immediately came back with that backflip. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that that was all calculated.
Well, I mean, yeah, calculated is the word there, I suppose, as already 2-0 up right now. Beta looking very good and potentially looking to try and take this third set for Essence Unified, where Tyzen haven't had the greatest day. We'll see exactly if they can turn things around here, though. A double commit, probably not the best way to start here, as now Manx is going to hit it out towards Braddock, who at least gets it to FE stand, rather, as Plaz off the wall. Potentially going for an air dribble there, but Walsh is like, no, you're not going to do that.
And that's one thing I like seeing out of this beta team. They are challenging everything as soon as possible. They're not allowing anything to really go through. And, you know, you see it from Stan once again. You know, they're not giving each other enough time to set anything up. And it's more of these free-floating plays, as a great save by Stan coming over the back, going to be able to put this one high off the crossbar and get this one out.
Yep. And a lot of passing plays happening there for side of Argus, but now it's going to be towards their own goal line potentially, as Plaz gets in, intercepts it from being centered, and Walsh is there to... Oh no, Braddock is there, in fact, to intercept and get that clanger of a clear. Plaz not able to really redirect that away, but now they are, as they recover and get that hit off back to Beta's side. As Walsh up into the air, doesn't have the boost to try and go for an aerial play, but almost there. Was put in by Stan. Didn't quite happen, as there's a great save to come through, and again, we're just seeing constant back and forth where, you know, the defense of Argus is great against the offense of Beta, but eventually something's got to give.
Yeah, and you know, Beta's just been doing a great job, just absolutely suffocating once again on the offensive side on Argus's defense. And once again, you see that they're trying to go high, they're there. They try to go low, they're there. They have a great rotation going and a great boost still coming, and it's not allowing Argus any room for error. Every single time that they've tried going for something, like, look at this, a pre-jump and almost connecting. Like, they are just firing on all cylinders. They're very confident in each other to get it to where it needs to be going, and that's what you love seeing out of a team.
And even there, right, it looked like there was some dismantling happening of this Beta defense, but Braddock is there. Braddock stops that air dribble from going in, and now it's going to go over towards the side of Argus, where they have no choice but to send it to the floor, preventing overtime from happening. Not that it would have mattered anyway, as it was a 0 second, and Beta end up taking the second game in the set. So once again, we're seeing just great play from both sides, but Beta edging it out in just these marginal kind of singular challenges across the course of the game.
Yeah, being up 2-0 and winning 2-0. Very nice set for Beta so far. Looking to try to complete an early sweep, perhaps. We've seen a lot of from their I'm blanking on their what's it called? Oh my. This is
Describe it.
Their Essence has been doing a great job closing out these series. We saw the first one in the sweep, the second one in Game 6, and now maybe, just maybe, Essence may be able to pull out a second sweep of the day.
Yeah, potentially, right? They had one away at the start. Obviously, that was a Champ 2 game, and now being at Grand Champ 2, rather, you know, could have a second sweep come through here. So, obviously, I don't think Argus are going to let them do that. They're making a car switch right now. They're changing their cars, so maybe that's what's wrong, you know? Maybe they're not using the right car. I'm not sure what cars there are in this game or what implications those have on how the game works, but, you know, tactical car pause, we'll call this.
No, I feel like Plaza is going to be coming out in a long body. I have a feeling it's going to be either the Dominus or Fennec. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Dominus here trying to get that long board because they've been very close on a lot of their double taps. They've been off by a little bit or just not enough boost. So maybe the switch to one of these longer cars will be the change that they need to be able to start connecting on these double taps. I do like the idea out of Plaz. They need to change something up, and they've been very close before. So, you know, if they're not going to be changing the strategy, change a little bit. Let's change the cars. Try getting a little bit extra length. Try to see if that's going to be the deciding factor here.
I don't know whether this is just me living in like the old Rocket League days when it first came out, where people believed cars didn't actually matter, but cars matter? You can have long bodies and short bodies?
So every car has a different hitbox. Actually, in old Rocket League, every car had a unique hitbox before it got changed to general ones.
Right.
So Octanes have they have a more triangle one, while Dominuses and Fenix have a square hitbox where it's more like a rectangle. It gives them that little extra oomph. As we see, Plaz is still in an Octane. They just changed the decal. So, you know, sometimes it's just that little mental thing. As Plaz is already firing off the crossbar, maybe it was the decal just weighing them down.
Yeah, potentially. Gonna save comes through there from Stan anyway, and August looking to now get this ball out of their own half. Great pop up coming through from FE. Stan right up for it as well. Gets it into the corner, but Stan is there to redirect it away and fend off the attack for just a moment. Shot on goal there from Braddock. Misses though. FE Stan there in just the nick of time.
Yeah, a phenomenal save there to keep them in early on. You don't want to go down 1-0 in game number 3 when you're already down 2-0 in the series. A huge save there that could be a little bit of a momentum save, as a second save is going to be coming out right away. The demo coming in, they have a little bit of time and numbers, as Plaz is just going to try controlling this one into the corner, but Braddock just going to take this one and just dump it away.
Yep. FE Stan does manage to get it off to the side a little bit, gives Manx the opportunity to challenge that, but shot on goal, saved by Plaz, and Stan here trying to set something up for one of their teammates to get into position for that. Probably would have been a Walsh in that scenario, but a bit of a challenge onto their own teammate there. Attempted a pinch, I guess, between Manx and FE Stan. Now Plaz is up for it. Going to go for the fake challenge and actually just gives it over to Walsh. Actually a good idea, because now FE Stan is able to just challenge this and keep it going. Plaz into the corner, but not really any real centering opportunities, or there's no follow-up here as well from August, right? None of them are pushed up far enough to really make anything happen from these passes.
Yeah, and Stan able to beat 2 here, but it won't be enough apparently, as they're just going to not be able to capitalize on the numbers that they had, as Manx going to have to corral this now, getting a flip reset, getting a challenge, and just being able to just put that slightly off the course that Beta was looking for. And Stan, with a little bit of a misfire, the defensive misfires have been crucial for Beta's offensive prowl. They have been capitalizing well off of this, as this could be another, both of the defenders going for the half flip there, and now we're seeing a little bit of, you know, just nerves coming out from Argus. It feels like they are playing, you know, a little bit, I wouldn't say scared, but they're playing a lot more with nerves, it feels like.
Yeah, and boost is also running low right now, I think, for side of Argus. Obviously, Manx got that boost stolen earlier on by Braddock, and FE Stan was not able to get much up in the offensive side with a lack of boost. Manx is still looking for it, not picking up any pads for some reason. Finally gets that big boost, so can start to really make a play, and this is where they're going to start moving, having the shift towards more of an offensive play. Nope, never mind. It goes right back into their own half. There's the pinch over, centers it. Walsh is there to try and get it in, hits the crossbar though, and that's Plaz coming in with the deflection, getting it towards midfield. But that is a great redirect though from Braddock, getting into the goal off of the back of Stan as well. So very nice stuff there. I'm not sure how they got so much power off that 109 kph off of just a redirect.
Yeah, it was just the ability to set themselves up with that pass. How the ball was coming down, they flipped perfectly into it to get a lot of power behind it. Just that little extra, you know, the little extra mustard in that one. And now up 1-0 in game number 3. This is what you like to see, as Minx is going to be shut down by Braddock once again. The second shot coming in from Plaz, and it was the decal weighing him down, as Plaz now on the board, the goal evening this one up.
Yep, Plaz with a changed decal, and is also a changed man, clearly, as manages to get that goal through, keeps things evened up here at 1 minute 39. As now this kickoff comes through, goes over towards Argus' side, but that's actually good for Manx here. They can get it over Stan. This gives them great offensive opportunities, almost goes in there. Not quite though, as Manx has to try and recenter it, but just gives it over to Walsh.
Yeah, Plaz, unfortunately, not enough boost to go up for that. That would have been a great opportunity for them. But Stan still hunting this one down, gets it in deep, gets it by 1. A great defensive effort there to get this one out and forces Walsh to go back up on the wall, just try getting some bumps in to slow down Argus, who have now started getting a little bit of the, getting their feeding behind them, or underneath them, I should say, and causing a lot of defensive misfires on Beta's side. And Argus just trying to capitalize on some of these opportunities. Plaz put this one up high, but Walsh already meeting them at the mid-pitch.
Yep. Plaz here going to go for a very early challenge there. Doesn't manage to keep it up towards Beta's side. And with an open goal there, Stan will put it in. So 2-1 at 44 seconds. Argus once again in a disadvantaged position where they have a while to go before they're going to be able to win this one out.
Yeah, 44 seconds still. There's still a lot of Rocket League to be played. And last goal that we saw, you know, there was a quick retaliation and a quick answer. So hopefully we see the same thing from Argus once again. But Walsh with enough boost to be able to get there just a little bit off the mark. Unfortunate for them, but fortunate for Argus as a second shot comes in a little bit wide. The little dink just gets this in deep, as Manx not going to be the first one there. With 25 seconds remain, Stan trying to find the capitalize. But a great save by Stan, forcing Motors now to come out, putting this one high. Manx has to get this one off to the side. Walsh going to be the next one there, able to get this one back in deep. Plaz trying to get this one out. 10 seconds remain, down 1, as Walsh trying to find the exclamation point. Put this high. Stan takes it off to the side. Manx is going to be able to catch this. Has a little bit of time, but not the boost. Now trying to catch this and gets the boost in the corner. Puts this one high. Plaz is in position, but Walsh will be the first one there. Stan keeps it alive. This ball could bounce off the corner, and still goes down. Beta is going to be able to take a 3-0 lead in this best of 7.
And they go up to match point off of the back of a very, very close opportunity for Argus to proc the overtime. So they're going to be breathing sighs of relief after that, not having that even up and not having to go through a probably very intense overtime, I would imagine. So overall there, Beta, once again, even though there was a goal scored there for Argus, it just felt like the 2 goals they had, they were flashy. There was a great 107 kph shot as well that came through. I mean, I don't know what to say. They are just great at both the offensive and defensive game. And it feels like all 3 of the Tyzen teams have actually been a little bit weak defensively.
Yeah, and one thing to also note here is Manx and Stan are both going to the garage and getting a car change themselves. I'm interested to see what's going to come out here. You know, the first time we saw a decal change, but we saw Stan in the Fennec, so we might see an Octane look from them, and maybe, you know, a different change from Manx. It felt like a little bit weaker on the defensive side, but, you know, they had a lot of great defensive stands. They just weren't able to capitalize on some of the opportunities that they were able to finally muster in that, I believe it was around the 230 mark. Argus, they had a few opportunities that just ended up going wide, and it's just shots that you wish you could have back. There were some empty nets that they just put up too high or too wide.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the time as well, in the past like 3 games, we've seen you know, a lot of these shots kind of hit the crossbar and then go in. But we've not actually seen that too much this series, right? In this game, rather, in that last game. Because, you know, a lot of the time it's just bouncing off the crossbar and getting cleared off by the side of Beta. So they're doing good at following up on that and making sure that these cheeky kind of slides into the goal aren't quite happening. So get right into the game here, see if Beta can close out the sweep.
Yeah, and the one thing to note is neither player changed their cars once again. Both of them going with a decal change, so, you know, maybe it's just the decals that weren't feeling for them. So we're going to see how this one plays out. We saw Plaz, after the decal change, was able to play a little bit better than previously, getting a save there. So maybe it's going to be the same juice for them, and maybe this can start this reverse sweep.
Yep, that's what it all comes down to, right? The reverse sweep 4 in a row here for August would be great. Either way, we're going to see one of these teams get 4 in a row. So let's see who it is. whether Beta can close it out or not. Already looking like putting up a pretty good defensive side here as Braddock getting in there with a very long air dribble. Argus kind of sweating in their seats right now. The prospect of a goal coming from that, but they do dribble it all the way up the pitch back towards the side of Beta. And right now it's looking like Beta being defensively pushed out actually because of that bump that came through. Almost a shot. Well, actually it was a shot, not a goal though there from Manx Motors, and still it just looks like Argus, you know, that bump came through to the defenders without a commission and they still didn't get a goal in.
Yeah, it was a great heads-up play by Plaz. Plaz looked down pitch and saw that there was no boost available, so he turned back towards the net and got two people out of position and gave them another opportunity for a shot. That's something I want to see more out of Argus. Not going for boost steals all the time, but, you know, looking to just cause defensive pressure off of these bumps and physical plays. If you're able to get a bump on the goalie, if you're able to get a bump on two, you know, you set yourself up for a longevity in this offensive zone, as you just saw.
Yep. It's back up towards Beta's side. As Walsh is up for it. Uses a lot of boost on just trying to challenge nothing here, right? No one is going up for that because they know Walsh will have no boost after it. Now it's down off the crossbar. Potentially can be put in at some point here. If Afistan can center it, there we go. Is there any follow-up? Plus just a little bit too late up to the chop-in block. And now it looks to be going back over to Argus' side. So their offensive sequence did fail a little. No, it didn't. Okay, it's still going potentially. Centered out here to Plaz into the corner. Now they hit it back. Walsh going to pop it up and give it to Braddock, who now will be able to shut things down here.
Yeah, and just as we approach the mid-game, we get a goal from Walsh after a great defensive stand here. A nice passing play, just a little bit too far for the defenders, as Walsh is going to be able to capitalize from the pass from Braddock. A great pass and an even better shot.
Yep. Now another kickoff goes. Walsh versus a Manx. Looks to be going pretty good here for Beta as they pop it up and over. Efistan misses it, but it doesn't matter because it wasn't going to go in anyway there, as Plaz going to be in position to try and hit a very nice, well, would have been a very nice redirect there, but Stan was there to intercept it and make sure that didn't happen. Braddock now rotating back, looking to play defensively, as there's two players up there for Argus who tried to go for the goal, but not quite going to happen.
Yeah, and you saw a double commit coming from both teams, and it's going to go in the favor of Beta. You know, if you send two people up for that, you got to come away with something, because you put yourself in a very big hole on the defensive side, and you need someone to make a huge save there. Unfortunately for Argus, it was not to be that time. But still, 2 minutes of play, only down two, you still have a good opportunity here.
Yeah, there's some opportunities for Argus, but they need to start upping the tempo, getting some of these shots in pretty easily, because right now it feels like everything they're doing is rather telegraphed. And Walsh, that was not telegraphed at all. No one expected that.
Yeah, a great dish and an even better just heads-up play. You know, you'll take those opportunities. You know, it's just great awareness to turn back in. It wasn't a pass from your teammate, but just a heads-up idea to know where that ball's going to be. Just turn back and go for the quick shot. Now up 3-0 with 1:45. You got to see a response coming in soon from Argus if you don't want to get swept. Down 3, you need a goal quickly to give yourself an opportunity in this final minute.
Well, pretty neutral 50 coming through there from Walsh onto Manx. Same can be said for Stan, who challenged it. And it is remaining just a little bit longer on Beta's side, but now it goes back to Argus, who managed to clear it off. That was Manx doing that. And Manx and Plaz in the exact same position there. Looks like Plaz went for a bump there onto the defensive player, but the challenge comes through anyway, so not much to be happened there for Manx. Now Braddock hits it away. No one actually on their own team to follow that up, though, as that's a Kalanga trying to go into the goal. Would have been a top righty, but Walsh is there to defend it. And again, Beta just exhaustively defending every single shot that comes their way.
Absolutely. And one thing to note is, you know, we did see a lot of great flashes from Argus. It just feels like they weren't all there today. And that happens in Rocket League. You don't always have your best days every single day. And unfortunately, it felt like Argus came up a little bit flat. And they're going to be able to get a goal here, but with 38 seconds left, they got a lot of pressure to create to be able to even this one up. You're still down 2, 38 seconds remain. You give yourself a chance here, a great demo coming out. You're going to need to recreate that success within the next like 10, 20 seconds if you want to give yourself an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you potentially have about 20 seconds per goal here. A lot of pressure to try and go very aggressive and put up a great offensive sequence, but that's going to be ever so difficult to do there. Plans just barely comes in with the interception. That was almost a cross-pitch goal that came through. And again, Beta, with opportunities like that, you know, half of those are being hit at this point, right? Manx is going to try and pass it out to Plans, who's a little bit late up to the chase, and now about 20 seconds is gone, and they have to try and get something done. 10 seconds remaining. Their series hopes are on the line. Manx passes it out to Plaz. Can they get anything done? Hits it up into the corner. There needs to be a goal right here and now, but Manx a little bit too slow up to it. Can't get much done, and the GG's already in the chat from Walsh. Plaz is AFK. They already accept their defeat. It's going to go in just for good measure from Braddock, and that is going to be all of the players of Argus quitting the match, realizing that it is all over. A 4-0 sweep comes up massive for the side of Beta, and Essence Unified Gaming in our organization.